What's going on, everyone? I want to take this time to say welcome to the life of the young funeral professionals. Today, I actually have, a great first time. We're going to hear from the heart of a trailblazer. And I'm truly excited for today's guest. We'll kind of get into that a little bit. I do want to say that I missed you guys. I missed you. My heart broke when I couldn't be a part of the last podcast, but my creative director, he did just such a great job, Mr. Courtney Hempfield. And from my mouth to your ears, I appreciate you. And I appreciate all of you for tuning in, not just last week, but this week as well. So take this opportunity and take and like and share this podcast. Get this out there. I also want to invite you to connect with us on all of our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we are on YouTube. All of our past episodes, our latest updates are all right there for you. I would like for you to partner with us and follow all of our platforms so you can be up to date with all of our latest when it comes to the podcast of the life of young funeral professionals. Now, today is really, really special. When you see ladies in heels, when you see the full lady staff, I think of Myers Mortuary. And when I think of Myers Mortuary, I think of Miss Katie Bostic. And it's truly an amazing opportunity for her to be the first Life of Young Funeral Professionals trailblazer. So today we honor her, and we honor her as an industry trailblazer. She has done amazing work in the area to uphold the values and the dignity of the funeral industry, the community, and the families that she serves. We're truly inspired by her journey. We're blessed by her example of servant leadership and her ability to steward well over the gift that God has given her. Not only to lead, but her willingness to break cultural and societal norms. We honor her sacrifice to become a very, very vital part of this industry. The standard that she has set continues to pave the way for many who aspire to be present and fulfill their calling within the industry. We appreciate her yes and the posture of her heart, and are equally excited to see where God takes her. Please help me celebrate as we welcome Miss Katie Bostic of the Myers Mortuary and Cremation Services. Hello.
Listen, that was such an introduction. I don't know how I'm going to come behind that, but thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Listen, I appreciate, as I share with you, I truly appreciate, your yes to being a part of tonight. It really does mean a lot, not just to myself, but to all of the viewers and to my team. It really does mean a lot. So thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Listen, we're set for a great conversation today, and I'm excited. So just before we get into, all these questions that I have for you, tell us a little bit about yourself, just a little bit about your background in the industry. Just give us a little insight on who Miss Katie B really is.
Well, I am a licensed funeral director out of South Carolina. I would say newly licensed. I've been licensed since December 2024. I'm excited about that. I've been a part of Myers Mortuary for about 10 years now. I have enjoyed every step of this journey. I am excited about what I have to offer and what the funeral industry has to offer me. On a personal level, I'm a preacher's kid. I'm a church girl. I'm a mother to a beautiful daughter, Madison Elise, and that pretty much sums up who I am. I did my mortuary program at Piedmont Tech. I finished there in 2019. Did my apprenticeship. I started my apprenticeship a few years after I finished school. I would not encourage anybody to wait like I did, but I started that a couple years later, and like I said, I just got licensed December of last year. So I am excited about that.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, I hear you're the David Ruffin of Myers Mortuary.
Oh, that is a nickname thanks to Mr. Brian Myers. I am not. I am not. I'm not, but I take it all in love.
Yes, yes, yes. So I have a question. What was the turning point where you realized you were called to work in funeral service?
So I was around the funeral home a lot. And then after a couple years, Brian asked me, he said, you should work a service. And I wasn't thinking anything about funeral service. I wasn't aware of how big the funeral industry was, how you could grow in it. But he said, you should work a service. And I worked that first service. And I happened to drive the limo on that first service. So I was with the family, and I was able to um, comfort the family. We laughed. We connected throughout that whole day. And I ended that service thinking, this is amazing. I feel like I was able to be a comfort to somebody in the hardest part of their lives. And I was not getting that same reward from working my job in corporate America. I was working in the insurance industry. I was not feeling fulfilled at all. But after I worked that very first service, I was excited about this ever since then. I felt like this is a ministry. And at the end of the day, I feel like I was able to help somebody and see the results of me being there for that person or that family throughout that day. So that's what made me decide to kind of get my feet wet in the industry. And the more I came around, the more I learned, the more I decided this is something that I was called to do.
Wow, wow. So they threw you to the wolves.
The first time I said, today, like on the first service, like, yeah, drive the limo, let's go. And I'm like,
Let's
okay,
go.
okay.
Wow. Now that's
Mhm.
that's that's inspiring because listen,
Yes.
you working with me. We got to build you up to that limousine, okay? We gotta
Listen,
build
so
you up.
I have a whole build up story. Don't worry. That was just that service. I always joke about how for the first year or two, I felt like all I was doing was handing out programs, making sure people are lined up two by two. I wasn't, I didn't do much else, but I learned every single little thing
Right.
before I was able to come up to directing services. So I appreciate it all, but don't think from the first service I was able to do everything. I just happened to have to drive the car that day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I just again build up and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I know you've overcome a lot,
Hmm.
from day one to now.
Hmm.
So what are some of the difficulties that you have faced while working in the industry?
I'm gonna be honest. I felt like I was a little socially awkward. I was not good with
Hmm.
um, comforting families, being there. Like if a grieving family is sitting across the table from me, I would get very nervous in the beginning. Um, so that was an issue. I was okay with speaking in public, but I would get very, very nervous on services. That was something that was a little difficult to me. But what came natural is, the fact that as women, we naturally want to take care
Mhm.
of people. So learning the process, learning how to deal with your different vendors, learning how to deal with different families that grieve different ways, that take their grief out different ways on you, where you see anger, they're really just hurting.
Yeah.
So dealing with that, learning the fact that this is not a 9 to 5 position and you're on call all the time, and families will reach out to you whenever they feel. It's just it was a complete 180 from working a corporate 9 to 5 job where you clock in, clock out, and you know what you're going to be doing from day to day.
Yeah.
This industry is completely different. So it was an adjustment period, but nothing that is impossible to do.
That is true. And I found it difficult because I've never been married. I've never
Hmm.
had children.
Hmm.
I've never lost a parent. So
Hmm.
I found it very difficult to
Yes.
how do I comfort a grieving mother who lost a child, or
Right.
a husband that's lost his wife? Like it's very, you have to again discern well. Like it's just, you have to
Yes.
be very mindful and very prayerful, because if it's not God that's going to help me, I don't know who will, because I can't help.
Right, right. Sometimes it does have potential to be very awkward. But sometimes, and like you said, you go off of your discernment. You know when some of your families just need to vent, just need to talk to you. You know when some of your families are like, listen, I've never done this before. I'm nervous about this process, and you literally have to hold their hand through the whole time. But the more you're in it, the more you kind of learn your families and know what you need to do to bring comfort to those different families, because every family is going to need something different from you.
The last one of them. That is so true.
Hmm.
That is
Hmm.
so true. So, what are some things that you do, that you find balance between your professional life and your personal life? Because you mentioned, that's like one thing I like want everyone to know. Like, this is not a cookie cutter 9 to 5. Um,
Exactly.
and you're going to be pulled, you're going to be stretched, you're going to be
Hmm.
up in the middle of the night. So tell me how you're able to manage, even you being a mom, that professional and personal life.
I don't know if it's something that I've mastered yet, um, but I do whenever there's any downtime around here at the funeral home. If there are free weekends, you try to take advantage of that, go on a nice little weekend getaway. Um, I love to read. I love to do different puzzles and things like that just to relax my mind in the evenings. The good thing about me having my daughter is, she loves, this is her second home here.
Oh,
So, she'll be a second generation owner, hopefully, if she wants to follow in our path. But so she's here a lot with us, but she loves being here. So I don't feel like, we're neglecting her in any way, which is a good thing. But yeah, taking time for yourself, planning spa days, taking time to breathe,
yes,
listen, just take time to breathe.
yes.
But and then your personal relationship with God is important. So taking time, spending time with God, um, taking time for yourself, and trying to fit that family time in. It can be very, very difficult, especially if you have a week where you're getting calls back to back. Something in your personal life may go neglected for a little while, but it's always important to, as soon as you find time,
That is
to
true.
to pay attention to yourself, to listen to yourself and what your needs are. That
Yes.
is very important. And if you have to take some time, you just have to take some time.
Yes, to all of my colleagues, prioritize yourself.
Yes.
Self-care is the best care. Because let me tell
And
you,
a lot of us don't do it,
no,
but it's important to do.
yes, it is. Because honestly, this if you do not have a sort of outlet, this industry is enough to consume you.
Yes.
It really is, because we deal with such a heavy part of life.
Hmm.
And if you don't have that time, or that outlook or outlet, I should say, you really don't have, and you bottle it all in. And some things we can't share.
Right.
Some things we
Right.
take home with us, but we just have to find a place of peace where we can, woosah and prepare for the next day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You take the moments whenever you can.
Yes, yes, yes. So I kind of want to shift, into the new age of things. So in
Okay.
this digital age where everything is recorded, everything is on a camera.
Hmm.
What are some things that we as professionals can keep in mind while serving on services and being behind the scenes?
So I am, I still like to think that I'm young, but I am very traditional and conservative, you might say. So I am always mindful that it's not our funeral home. We're recording a lot for services. We're getting content a lot. We're big on TikTok. Um, but even if it weren't though if it wasn't those cameras, somebody is always watching. You
Yeah.
have to carry yourself as if someone is always watching. That means watching what we say. That means making sure you look good on, my thing is if a family comes to me and they pay thousands of dollars for me to do a service for them, the least I can do is care about how I look, make sure I am presentable and professional at all times, professional in what I say and how I carry myself.
Yeah.
So that is extremely important. And just know that if anything goes left, the first thing people do is pull out their phones. And once something is on the internet, you can't take it back. It'll go
Mm-mm.
viral so quickly. So always conduct yourself in a professional manner. And when I'm out on services, I'm not representing myself. Well, I do represent myself, but I'm also representing Myers Mortuary. So
Yeah.
you keep that in mind. This is not just about you. Um, and and even outside of being on services, just in everyday life.
Yeah.
I, you know, conduct yourself in a professional manner where nobody could catch you slipping at any time.
Yeah, because not only you mentioned something that's really, really important. While you say working a service, you're representing not only yourself but the firm that
Hmm.
you're with.
Yes,
I tell people once you sign up to be in this industry, you are no longer yourself. You are always
right,
now you're Katie with Myers Mortuary. So even they see
right,
you out, no matter where you are, they're going to
exactly,
know that's who you are. So it really
exactly.
makes a major difference on how you carry yourself. And so
Yes,
you have to be very, very careful. And like you said, that you said something that's really profound. People are looking to put you on the internet, and I've seen it many
yeah,
times. They're
absolutely.
to put you out there, and it really does make a major difference to keep the professionalism. I just feel as though a lot of people don't care about professionalism anymore, but it
Hmm.
matters. It matters to your firm, and it matters to the families you serve because they trust us.
And
They
it
trust.
matters to future firms if you're not at a firm yet.
That
If
is
you're
true.
trying to get into a firm,
That is very
you
true.
know, the first thing I'm going to do if somebody comes and says they're interested in working here, the first thing I do is look to see how they present themselves, whether that's on social media,
Mhm.
how you present yourself with your resume, all of those types of things. If you're not carrying yourself in a professional manner where I would not worry about you representing my firm, I mean, I can't,
Yeah,
just know that reputation and professionalism mean a lot
it
in
does.
this
It does.
industry. Yes.
It does. It really does. So, I know we have, viewers from all over, and I know um, that, some are people look to this platform for encouragement and inspiration.
Mhm.
So, with the industry being dominated by men,
Yes.
what would you say to a young lady that dreams of being a funeral director or an embalmer, and how she can build the confidence to walk boldly in her calling?
Yeah. I had the privilege of attending graduation at Gupton Jones just maybe a week or two ago. And I was so encouraged because they had a restorative arts award that they gave out for each semester there. And every award went to a woman. And I was just so proud of that. Of course, I did not go the embalming route. I'm just doing directing, but just to see the way that women are um, walking out this calling and not just walking it out, but they are excelling in it.
Mm.
Just so to see them do that, to see the valedictorian being a female, and it was just very encouraging. So I think that for women that are coming up, it is still, even though women are coming up and we're doing great, it is still dominated by men. But know that there are women that are here now, women that have come before us that have opened the doors for us. But know that At least I can only speak for myself, but we are here to help you and encourage you in any way we can. If there are any young ladies, you can reach out to me and anytime, and I'll help you in whatever way I can. But know that there is room for you in the industry, and that the industry needs you. Women, like I said earlier, tend to nurture, tend to pay close attention to detail, and tend to have a higher level of discernment as well when dealing with other people. So know that you're needed, you're wanted, and there is a place for you here.
Listen, that was beautiful. I almost teared up a little bit.
Oh, please.
That really was good to me for me to
But
hear. It
definitely sincere. Definitely
was
sincere.
very
There is room. I really feel like the future of this funeral industry is female.
yeah. And honestly, like I I give my hats off to all of the ladies in the industry because I know I respond well to crisis. I do, but sometimes when something's going on with a family, it just helps when a nice lady comes on
Hmm.
over and just eases their troubled mind. It really does help. It makes a major
Hmm.
difference, especially when you have a lot of other, steps and entities that you have to worry about in a service. And especially so when a lady can come forward and families, they find more comfort in a lady, and it really makes a difference. So I say also I stand with Miss Katie when she says there's room for you.
Oh,
There's on
absolutely.
in. There's room.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now we love our men. I love our men on funeral service, and I love the men of Myers Mortuary. So don't think that we don't appreciate you. We do, but definitely know that it's definitely room for the women.
Yes, yes, yes,
Hmm.
yes, yes. So people often think they know everything about what we do, because they've sat at a service or they've seen something, but they
Hmm.
don't pay attention. They don't pay attention, or they don't see the sacrifice. So,
Right.
what are some important things that people should keep in mind before they decide to take part in the funeral industry?
I would always suggest, even if you think this is something that you want to do, to kind of sit in with a firm, and see what all it entails, because it is a lot emotionally, especially because women tend to take on other people's burdens, or we tend to take that on a little more than the men do. So know that it can be emotionally taxing on you. um, and then what we discussed before about it not being a 9 to 5, your schedule, you are literally on call all the time. Even if you work for a larger, more established firm, if you're serving families, I know my families, if I'm serving families, they have access to me 24/7.
Mhm.
So just know there's a lot of planning that goes on behind the scenes. You may have families that have the craziest requests, or not even crazy requests, just a lot of requests. I want the horse and carriage. I want the doves. I want this spot at this cemetery. I want this and that. I want the crowning ceremony. And you got to put all that together. So
Mhm.
it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of dealing with outside vendors. It's a lot of um, getting woken up out of your sleep. It's just a lot. And then services can be long. Services can be all day. You can come in first thing. You gotta be there for the service. You got to pick the family up. You got to do the service. You got to do the burial. You got to do the repast after. So just know that, especially your Saturdays, you know, could
Mhm.
be, a long time. A personal time could be few and far between. But know that it's very rewarding as well. I love what I do. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But it is not just what you see where, you're dressed up and you're walking down the aisle. It is, a whole process that happens before and after the service, because You still have to follow up and do your aftercare, everything after the service. So um, it's a lot, but it's rewarding.
That is
It
so
is
true. That is.
rewarding.
I say it all the time. This is the I. You can't the mental and emotional reward that you get out of this industry. You can't get anywhere else. You can't,
Absolutely.
especially when you work behind the scenes and at the service. When you
Hmm.
have ordered that casket, when you ordered the flowers, arranged everything, and
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
see all of those pieces of the puzzle put together, and you hear the "oh, this is beautiful" or the
Hmm.
"I'm pleased," and just to and I know you get them. Those hugs at the end, thank you
Yes.
for everything.
Yes. Yes.
It's a feeling that you can't explain, and it's a feeling that you just want to give
Hmm.
the opportunity for a family, because we all have to pass this way.
Right.
um, and so it's just something that I love, and I can tell that you love it too. And so
Hmm.
for those who are watching, just keep pushing, man, because this is
Hmm.
just I love it. I can't see myself doing anything else. I just can't.
Right. Same.
So and so one thing I mentioned before we went live, I personally, inspired by Myers Mortuary. I've watched you from afar. I'm inspired by Mr. Brian himself. So on the topic of mentorship, who is
Hmm.
someone or who are those that you look up to in funeral service that kind of encourage you, motivate you, and give you the push to keep going and be, the great KDB of funeral service?
I would say, Brian definitely was my mentor. He taught me everything that I know about funeral directing. So, of course, definitely look up to him. But, I will also say his mother. His mother went to mortuary school just a couple years before I did.
Wow.
And seeing her go through that process and not letting age or anything stop her, it that was very encouraging to me. So those two hold a very very special place in my heart because if not for watching them, I would not know that I could do this. So there are other people that are special to me as well. Um, I wish I could name some more females that are special to me, but um, I do watch from afar. I sometimes I sit home and I pull up some funeral services. I watch different people across the country. And I am encouraged by how many women that I see that are now out there on social media posting what they do. So I get ideas from all over the place. I'm inspired by small things I see.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I had to name two people, that would be who I would go with.
Yeah. Wow. 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 That's my mind was just blown that Mr. Myers' mom just went to a few years ago.
Yes,
That
yes,
blew my mind.
yes, she
Wow.
did.
Wow. 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 That is so good to hear. So my question for you is, where do you see the direction of the funeral industry going in the near future?
Outside of it being more female, um,
Being more
I
female.
see. I Yeah, I see the generation behind me doing a lot. I see different people opening their own firms. I see um, different young people that are coming straight out of high school, knowing that this is what they want to do. And I am so encouraged by the generation behind me because, I will be 40 in August. And I tell people all the time, I did not realize that this is what I could be doing until so much later in life. But I am inspired by so many young people that know, this is what I'm called to do. So I do see it a positive future with the generation that's behind us. Um, and let's see, outside of that, I do see things trends like cremations taking over, and that we'll have to kind of work around the cremations taking over a lot, and I also see where technology is creeping in, and you have AI that's writing obituaries and different things like that. So we'll have to adjust to different things like that. But the future is bright. I would say that the future is bright if we
Yeah.
go with the trends. Sometimes, you know, older directors and firms don't necessarily go with the trends, but if we go with the trends, I think, you know, the future is bright, and I think it's in good hands with the people that are coming up behind us.
Well, listen, I gotta listen because if you don't catch up with the trends, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what
You gotta go with the times. You gotta move with it.
we're gonna do. And
Yeah.
I tell those that work in my firm, like, listen, I had a family call me. They're like, yeah, I just plug all this into AI. I have my obituary. I was like, so families are doing this, and it's
Yes.
not. It's
Yes.
easier for them, and by all means, it's easier for me as well.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
and so we just have to keep up. And that was really good. So I appreciate that because it kind of opened my eyes to some things too. So listen, I appreciate it. I really do. As someone now, I want to define trailblazer really quickly before I ask this next question. I really
Okay.
do.
Okay.
And you know, this platform is the life of young funeral professionals, and I'm not calling Miss Katie old. I'm not doing that whatsoever. But it makes it really important to me, to those who are watching, someone who has put the work in and who has set the tone, and that's what a trailblazer means to me and this entire platform. And so when we have the heart of the trailblazer, it's someone who is, some may refer to them as veterans, but it's someone who has gone forth and is able and is in a position to bless us with inspiration and encouragement and insight. So, Ms. Katie, as a trailblazer, where do you see yourself going in the future of this industry? Because listen, you crossed one step and becoming a
Right.
director, but this
Right.
is just the ground level. So, where do you see yourself going in this industry?
Well, um, I'm not sure where I want to end up. I feel like my goal right now is to make um, this firm and make this firm something that I can or we can hand over to my daughter and be proud of what we hand over. So my whole thing is building that legacy for her. Whether that, you know, considering doing the CFSP, like
Mhm.
growing in different ways here in my personal walk. But as far as, you know, um, what I want to leave when it's all said and done, when I'm done with this funeral industry, is that I just wanted to leave it in good hands, to leave my daughter something that, you know, she can be proud of, take on and grow from here. So, you know, my whole thing is, as much as I can learn, I want to learn from different people. I want to learn what I can improve on. I want to learn if there's something that I'm doing that um is outdated, or if there's something that I'm doing that could be done in a more efficient way. I want to forever stay teachable. I
Mhm.
want to go with the trends as well. I don't want to be somebody who's stuck in their ways. So whatever I can learn, um, you know, over the course of the next few years or however long I'm in this industry, I want to do that. But I just want to, at the end of the day, be proud of what I've accomplished and be proud of what I can hand over to her to take it further than I ever imagined.
Wow. And to know, as young as she is, the fact that she loves being like it's her
Oh,
second
she
home, she
loves it.
loves being around.
Yes,
That's truly inspiring because
yes.
I've seen generational firms where the next generation doesn't want to do anything,
Right, right, right.
and so that's truly inspiring all in itself. And so you guys, I mean, you guys, I'll say it many times if I have to. Shout out to Myers Mortuary, you guys. I don't care if I have to put in a billboard. Shout out to
It's
Myers
my
Mortuary.
family. Yes. I love them. I love every single one of them. I love them.
Listen, and you know what? You just said a major word, family.
Hmm.
Like you guys,
Yes.
and you guys have been really inspired myself to, help my firm be more family oriented.
Hmm.
It's we spend more time with each other than we do our own
Yes.
personal families. So
Yes.
it makes a major difference. And so shout out to you guys because you guys do it gracefully.
Yes, I work with the best staff, the best, and they're not staff, they are family.
Yeah.
We're all friends outside of here. Like I told you before we started, we just finished a cookout for Memorial Day. Like, I would not trade any of them for the world. So I'm blessed to be a part of this family, and that's part of why um, I felt so encouraged to have this whole second career in funeral directing because of the people that were around me, the people that were already here, and the people that came after I got here. They have encouraged me every step of the way to be the best director that I can be. So I love y'all, Myers Mortuary.
Listen, I love y'all too, and I don't even work there.
Well, we love you back.
Yay! So this is the most important piece of tonight, and this is my favorite piece. I know those who watch, you guys get encouraged and inspired, but this blesses me. Every episode blesses me truly. So if you don't mind, can you
Mhm.
please take a moment or two to share some encouragement for the younger generation and those who would like to take on a substantial role in funeral service, if you don't mind, because this is what it's all about.
Yes. Well, I will say this. I will say to persevere, to not get discouraged. Um, I know that this industry is hard to break into sometimes. I know that it is hard. I see young people all of the time in the different Facebook groups and things like that saying, sometimes it is difficult to get your foot in the door. I will say persevere, keep trying, find the firm that has the right fit for you. I will say to remember to treat this like ministry. It is a calling to work with these families that are going through the hardest times of their lives. So, take into account, like I said, if you shadow different firms, figure out what it is, what you have to do. If you're just wanting to be an attendant, figure out what it takes to do that. If you're wanting to be a director, find somebody to mentor you in being a director, embalming, all of that. Find someone who can pour into you. But just persevere. It is not an easy field to be in, but and I keep saying it's definitely rewarding. So keep doing whatever you need to do to get your foot in that door, and then once you get your foot in that door, do all that you can, learn all that you can, from passing out fans to driving, with us, driving the third car, moving up to second car, moving up to first car, moving up to trying to direct your services. um, just learn every single thing that you can. If you are doing your embalming, or you want to do makeup, you want to do hair, it's so much that you can do in this industry. But be teachable, learn all that you can. And I'll take this from when I was working in corporate America in the insurance industry. I went and I asked to be cross trained in everything that I could be, so that I could be marketable. I could be where, if something happens in this area, I fit in right here in this other area. So I would say learn all that you can across the industry. But just again, remember that it's definitely, at the end of the day, it's ministry. And it's not easy. Um, and if once you're in it, I'm going back to that balance thing because it is important, even though I'm still trying to find that balance. Once you're in it, find that balance. And so just know that this is something that I'm trying to find the right nice way to say things. It's something that is hard to get into because I do see so many young people talk about that. But just keep finding, keep going to where you find a firm that you are, that's an integral firm, a
Yes.
firm that is willing to teach you, a firm that is willing to listen to you.
Yeah.
Once you find that, value that, stay there, learn all you can, grow. If you want to grow to do your own thing, you can. But just know that, be teachable. This is just, be teachable. And I feel like I'm rambling, so I'm going to stop there. But know that this is something that it's near and dear to my heart. And just know that if I can do it at the old age that I am, where you're calling me a trailblazer, if I can do it, you all can do it. And just trust that you can do it.
Listen, you dropped some heavy things there. You dropped some heavy things, and I really hope those I really hope those who are in a place where you're wondering how I can do it. That was she just really just gave you guys just keep going, keep figuring.
Don't give up. Don't give up at the first no that you get.
Hello, hello.
You will get no's, but don't give up with that.
Yes,
And find somebody, even if it's not in the same state. I was able to, when we went to convention, I was able to, networking is important,
it's really
and meet people that are not in your area, that don't know anything about the firms in your area, but that people are that genuinely love this industry. Make connections with them. Those friendships are valuable, and you can find mentors that are not even in your area that can assist you with wherever you are in your career. They can help you where you are, or if there is a need to relocate. So, if things are tight or in your area, or you feel like firms are cliquish or this or that, you're not limited to where you are. Be willing to go outside of where you are, but making networking and making those outside relationships and connections are very important as well.
that is so true. That is so true. Well, listen, I thank you for taking time to bless this platform. I thank you for your yes to the service. I thank you just for being the great. You may not see yourself as great as other people may see you, but you are great. And so thank you just for your commitment to the families that you serve, to your community, to this industry as a whole. And I want to say thank you to all of my viewers. I say this 100,000, 10,000 times. This platform can't be anything without you. So I thank you for your continued support. I thank you for your comments. I thank you for your shares. And I just want to say, we are preparing to open up the floor for you guys to give guest suggestions. It really makes a difference because I don't know everybody. I don't know everybody in the industry, and I wish I did, but I don't. So we are at this point looking for our next special guest. So if you know anyone, and it doesn't have to be just anyone, it can be yourself. Please feel free to DM us or email us on all of our platforms who are here below, just letting us know, give us a little background about them, and we will be sure to connect with them so we can have them on the platform. Again, I truly appreciate each and every one of you because it's not about me. It's truly about all of us because we do the same thing in different areas. So thank you, thank you, thank you on behalf of my team. Mr. Courtney Hempfield, who is our creative director, Miss Tiffany Pratcher, who is our brand administrator. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will truly see you next week on the Life of the Young Funeral Professionals. Thank you so much. Take care, family.